Hello, readers and writers, and welcome to Lesson 30 of your ELA School Away from School. I am Mr. Martz, and I will be your virtual teacher for today's daily lesson. Let's start by remembering our guiding questions. How do human actions affect the natural world? How do authors approach providing information and making an argument? How does reading for research help me to form an opinion and make an argument? As always, we will be trying to address these questions through our work together. Okay, for today's lesson, you're going to need a copy of the text, not of the menu. Restaurants seek to wean customers off plastic straws. Your copy of Lesson 30, the Lesson 30 note catcher, and a pencil. Go ahead and pause the video here and make sure that you have everything. All right, here is our learning target for today. I can explain how new information connects to a topic, text, or issue I am studying. Remember that all of the articles that we have been reading connect back to our guiding questions. Let's make sure that we keep this target in mind during today's lesson. First, we will be reading our text for the week, not on the menu. Restaurants seek to wean customers off plastic straws. As you read along, I will be reading the text out loud. For the rest of the lessons this week, you can come back to this recording if you need to hear the read aloud again. Not on the menu. Restaurants seek to wean customers off plastic straws. Drinks at Mama's Fish House in Hawaii arrive topped with a black paper straw. At South Africa's Conscious 108, drinks often come with a straw made of steel. Harlem Public in New York City serves certain drinks with Twizzlers instead of straws. The tips of the Twizzler are cut so you can drink through it. The best part, when they're done drinking their cocktails, close to 100% of customers eat the Twizzler straw, says owner Lauren Lynch, so there is zero waste. Many local governments are considering restrictions on plastic straws. In the meantime, restaurants and bars around the world are testing new ways to replace a piece of plastic that has become a common part of eating out. Plastic straws given only if requested by customers. A new law in California would make it illegal for restaurants to give out plastic straws unless the customer asks for it. Seattle, Washington is getting rid of plastic straws and utensils beginning in July. Davis and San Luis Obispo are cities in California. In both cities, restaurants are not allowed to hand out plastic straws unless requested by a customer. Coastal countries like South Africa, Costa Rica, and Thailand have been at the forefront of a similar movement. They are shifting to straws made of bamboo, wood, or paper instead of plastic. Emma Acano is the co-owner of Yang Yang Beach Resort in Montezuma, Costa Rica. There is so much plastic waste that washes up on our beaches that we knew we had to do something, Icano said. The resort stopped using plastic straws nearly 2 years ago. It now provides more environmentally friendly straws upon request. Icano said the restaurant went from using 500 plastic straws a week to about 25 environmentally friendly ones. By some estimates, Americans throw away 500 million plastic straws a day. No plastic movement is growing. The no plastic movement has grown steadily in recent years. It gained popularity following a viral video 3 years ago that shows a sea turtle with a plastic straw wedged in its nose. Walt Disney World has since gotten rid of plastic straws at some of its theme parks. The Smithsonian Institution has taken steps to get rid of them at its museums. Jose Andres owns famous restaurants in the Washington, D.C. area. People can easily survive without straws, he says. His customers don't always agree, though. Back in 2010, Andres switched from plastic straws to paper ones at his Washington, D.C. restaurants. As a scuba diver, he said he'd seen firsthand the damage of plastic straws on the environment. He wanted to do his part to cut back on waste. Some diners not ready to give up the plastic. Diners were mad. It was the closest thing I've ever seen to a customer revolt, he said. He went back to plastic and tried again a few years later with the same results. Now he's settled on a different plan. Customers don't get plastic straws unless they specifically request them, and only about 5% do. Demand for environmentally friendly straws is going up, according to restaurant suppliers around the country. Kara Woodring works at Aardvark, a Colorado-based manufacturer of paper straws. Straws are kind of an unnecessary item we've gotten accustomed to. If you can go without, that's great. But if you can't, we have an alternative, she said. The company invented paper straws in 1888 and sold them with a lot of success for decades. But by the 1960s, low-cost plastic straws took over the market. Plastic came around and wiped out all of our manufacturing at that point, Woodring said. Paper alternative making a comeback. company came back to life decades later in 2007 when it updated its paper straws. Demand was low, though. Aardvark had just a couple of clients. Many restaurants didn't want to pay the extra money. Paper straws cost about 4 times as much as plastic straws. Now, Aardvark has thousands of clients. Sales of its environmentally friendly option have doubled over the past 5 years. Sales are going up even as many company leaders urge restaurants to do away with straws entirely. Freehold Brooklyn is a coffee shop and bar in New York City. Managers there say they used to spend $9,000 a year buying 1.5 million straws. Over the past 2 years, they've swapped out plastic for paper and have begun guiding customers away from straws altogether. Lydia Mazzolini helps to promote the business. These days, they hand out just 5 or 6 straws a week, she said. It's so easy to do without a straw once you try it, she said. Okay, time to think. Today, we will be summarizing the article and connecting our new learning to previous learning about human actions in the natural world. Why do you think that it's important to be able to summarize or paraphrase what we have read? How can connecting back to previous learning help us with a new piece of reading or learning? Now you will have a discussion with your family member, caregiver, or friend. Summarize or paraphrase the article you just read. What is the gist? What are the main ideas and key details? How does this build on the learning you have done with previous articles? Okay, now we will be completing the Lesson 30 note catcher. Summarize or paraphrase the article and explain how it builds on your learning around the guiding questions. In the left column, summarize or paraphrase the key ideas of this article in no more than 3 sentences. In the right column, explain how this article builds on your previous learning about how human actions impact the natural world. Pause the video here while you work. All right, great job today. Think about how you did with our learning target. I can explain how new information connects to a topic, text, or issue I am studying. Share your work with someone and tell why you chose to write what you did. Also, remember to read a book today with a family member, caregiver, or friend for 20 minutes. For today's fluency practice, I want you to use a timer, a cell phone timer, a kitchen timer, or have someone count to 60 and read the passage for 1 minute. Count the words you read and write the number at the top of your text. All right, thanks for learning with me today. I will see you back here for lesson 31.